I said it before and I say it again. I use both DaVinci Resolve and Premiere Pro. But looking at all my lately uploaded videos, I recognized a little disbalance, honestly. There's a lot of Adobe content and not very much Resolve related. So I thought, let's talk about Resolve today. Hello and welcome here on Random Rotation. I hope you're all doing well. You already read it in the title. Today I'd like to encourage you to consider DaVinci Resolve to record and edit your podcast. I know that especially when you're just starting out and don't really know what you're doing, the technical hurdle can be very challenging, to say the least. And the question, which software should I use, comes up quite early in the process. Well, the obvious choice would probably be something like Audacity. Free, cross-platform, relatively easy to use. Nothing's wrong with that, except that it's an audio-only tool. If you're happy with audio-only, go ahead, use it. And you can stop watching this video right now. DaVinci Resolve, on the other hand, is a fully fledged video editing, color grading, VFX, blah 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 tool. And while it might look way more complicated at first glance, I swear you don't have to be afraid. It's not rocket science, and I show you exactly what you need to do. Ready? Let's go. If you've watched this far, chances are you never opened DaVinci Resolve before. So first, a very quick overview. This is the first thing you'll see once you opened the program. Let's create a new project. To do so, I just click on New Project, give it a name, and that's it. At the very bottom, you can see 7 little icons. They take us to the 7 different workspaces in Resolve. Starting on the left, we have the Media, Cut, Edit, Fusion, Color, Fairlight, and Deliver pages. If you want to work on a video project, you would probably start on the Media page to import all your footage and music and such. Next, you could do a rough edit on the Cut page, then refine that edit on the Edit page. I honestly never use the Cut page. I'm one of those jumping straight into the Edit page. If your video needs some graphical elements like lower thirds, for instance, or even complicated VFX work, then the Fusion page is your next step. After that, you jump into the color grading process on the Color page. All you need to do audio-wise can be done on the Fairlight page, which we'll talk about in just a minute. And once your video is done, you can render it out on the Deliver page. I know, that looks like a lot for a beginner, but like I said, don't be afraid, because I have some good news for you. Out of these 7 pages, you only need 3. You need Edit, Fairlight, Deliver, and forget about all the rest for now. Let's start on the Edit page. We have a media pool that can be turned on and off over here in the left-hand corner. Now, right-click in this empty window, Timelines, Create New Timeline, or Control-N. Give your timeline a name. I call this one Podcast 001. By default, Resolve creates a new timeline with 1 video and 1 audio track. That's totally fine for now. We won't use the video track, so you can simply ignore it. But the audio track does not need to be stereo in most cases. You can change that to mono. And create. Here it is now. If you want to add some music or sound effects, you can also do that right here. Right-click, Import Media. Okay, good job so far. You're done on the Edit page. Let's jump over into Fairlight. Here's the audio track that you just created with the timeline. To keep everything nicely organized, it's always a good habit to rename every track of a project. Simply double-click on the name to change it. I assume that you have already plugged in a microphone to your computer. Now it's time to tell DaVinci that you want to use that microphone to record something to this track. Over here in the mixer section, you have to click on No Input and then Input. The patch window opens up. And here you have to connect the source to the destination. In my case, that's my Motu audio interface that I select with the voice track. Patch it and close the window. Now you need to arm the track you want to record to. Pretty easy in this case, as there is only one. And once that's done, congratulations, you're good to go. Let me quickly record some randomness before we move on. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, I have a question. Have you already subscribed to this channel? If not, and I know that 96% of you have not, then you should do that right now. It does not cost you anything and you would make me feel happy. That's a good enough reason, don't you think? And now it's on you. Alright, now that we have something to work with, let me show you how you can edit your audio track. With these two sliders here, you can zoom in a little bit to better see what you're doing. Alternatively, you can simply grab this edge to vertically zoom into the track. Spacebar starts and stops the playback. Or you use the JKL keys, L to play forward, K to stop, and J for reverse playback. The tools you will most likely use the most here are the selection tool, A is the shortcut for that, and the blade tool, shortcut Control B. Let's say I want to completely erase the middle part of my text. Then I look for the beginning of the text that I want to delete and place a cut here. Control B. Let me move the playhead a little bit to the side. There it is. I need a second cut. Here. And now I can select this middle part and delete it with the backspace key. Then I would have to drag this over, but there is an easier method. Instead of simply deleting it, you can ripple delete the piece. Shift backspace. That will automatically close the gap. Right-click on the cut to add a short crossfade and listen to the result. And now it's on you. Nice. Next, you can normalize your audio signal. Mastering audio can be a little bit challenging when you're doing it for the first time, but don't panic, we keep it simple here. Select everything, right-click, normalize audio levels. Then choose the True Peak preset and normalize. And the last step is to add a fade in and a fade out. And now you're ready to render. Down here you can see your timeline again, and on the left hand side there are the render settings. Theoretically you could dial in everything by yourself, but the easier way is to simply choose audio only. Give your file the correct name, choose a location, and then add it to the render queue. There it is. Now all you need to do is to click on render all and you're done. Let's summarize. We created a timeline on the edit page. On the Fairlight audio page, we patched the microphone to the audio track of that timeline. Then we armed the track for record and started recording. After that, we did some editing and we normalized the audio. And then we rendered the masterpiece. All these are very basic functions in DaVinci Resolve, but they clearly get the job done. And the big benefit you get, at least in my opinion, is that once you decide to take the next step and record not only audio but also video, you already have a good understanding of DaVinci Resolve. You know how to use it. You know the shortcuts. It does not make you nervous anymore, and you do not have to learn as much as if you were just starting out. And adding the video element to your podcast at some point opens up so much possibilities. I think. And why Resolve? Well, it's free. It does not cost you anything, and it's super powerful. If you have any more questions, leave them down in the comments. And that, my friends, is it for this week. I really hope you liked it, and if so, thank you. I see you in the next video, and until then, stay safe and motivated. Bye for now.